Sexual predators are going to jail and COVID-19 might end sooner than we think. It's Tuesday, April 28th, and this is your Daily Ketchup. Boom. By now, you must be no stranger to receiving fake news from your mother, but have you ever wondered who sent it to your mother's friend? So a 40-year-old man posted fake news about full closures of coffee shops and supermarkets opening only twice a week. When questioned about his source, he said he got intel. Well, he might have intel, but he sure as hell doesn't have speed because he got caught. This guy, if found guilty, could be jailed for up to 3 years and fined up to $10,000. So please let your mother and maybe my mother know about this guy. He's the sacrificial boomer to warn all other boomers not to create and share fake news or their boomer friend might go to jail. Singapore's total number of cases surpassed 14,000 yesterday. 799 new cases reported, with 14 of them being local. While that number seems relatively high, we might have reason to believe that the end of the virus may actually be near. Firstly, China has announced that all patients in Wuhan have been discharged. Some of the hardest hit countries in Europe have also seen their death toll ease off, and some of them have even rolled back on lockdown measures. Most interestingly, SUDD have come up with a data-driven prediction model. Now, there's lots of disclaimers to say that this is mainly for educational purposes, but based on the model, it predicts that Singapore's number of cases will peak by May 5th and will have 97% of all its cases by June 4th. This might be overly optimistic science, but one can dream. Okay, moving on. In other news, couples may soon be able to get married online thanks to a new bill that's being introduced on May 4th. The bill, if passed, will allow couples to get married without being physically present at ROM. This is great news for couples who have been trying to convince their parents that they don't need to invite some auntie or uncle they haven't seen in 20 years. Terrible news, however, for that one guy who's been trying to put off marriage talk with his girlfriend for the last 5 years. Yesterday was a really bad day for sexual predators, which means that it was a really good day for everyone else. First up, Terrence Yao. Remember him? He was a guy that got a relatively light sentence of 21 months of probation for molesting a woman in public because his good academic record at NUS meant that he had the potential to succeed in life. Many people were outraged by that. In fact, the only people not outraged by that were other NUS students also thinking of committing sex crimes. Anyway, his sentence got overturned by Chief Justice Menon, and so Terrence will be going to jail after all. The Supreme Court has also introduced a 3-step framework to determine one's likelihood for reform, so we no longer, and hopefully never ever, simply rely on one's grades. In somewhat related news, another man, Sham Caillou B. Now, if you don't remember him, he was a man who defecated in court on purpose and smeared the feces on his shirt and on a glass panel in contempt of the court. Anyway, he was found guilty of raping 2 14-year-old girls, and his appeal got rejected. He basically tried to claim that the girls were creating falsehoods to frame him. So these 2 poor young victims were being accused of shit stirring by a man who literally stirred shit.
There's shit everywhere!
So in this month of April, which happens to be Sexual Assault Awareness Month, I'm glad justice is served. For all the extroverts in the house, if you've been suffering from cabin fever and you miss networking sessions. Now, firstly, I don't know why anyone enjoys networking sessions, but some do. The 1887 virtual bar is allowing bar goers to replicate the act of going to bars online. Not only that, you can buy drinks in advance and redeem them once the real bar reopens, helping these establishments with cash flow. So basically how this works is that on Thursdays, different bars are invited to host a Zoom call where you can watch and interact with a bartender mixing drinks on screen. So you can try your hand mixing a drink while getting help from a bartender. Also, last thing before I go, if you live in the East, you can now order A&W on Foodpanda. You're welcome.